Hello, welcome to HITC Sport, and hey, look everyone, a championship video. Alright, happy? Great. So many lonely Millwall fans in the comment section below.
Oh, we're doing a championship video. Stop neglecting the England second tier.
Alright, well, let's hope this one does good views. Today though is controversial. I'm looking at every championship club and finding one retired footballer who would still walk into your starting 11. This is just so disrespectful that a guy who's hung up his boots and spent the last few years downing pints, stuffing his face with pies and waking up at noon, to think he'd still be able to compete in the rough and tumble of England's second tier. It's like predicting Mike Tyson could still win a belt. But let's just wait till you see these. Right, let's go. Barnsley, Claudio Marchisio. Yeah, this isn't such a bold claim, is it? To say that Claudio Marchisio would get into the Barnsley midfield. Clearly he f***ing would. And anyone that disagrees, please empty out your brain into the nearest sidewalk ditch. It's clearly not doing you much good. This fella spent 10 years in Juventus' midfield, has over 50 caps for Italy, and weirdly retired last October. Listen, I know, lads, people let themselves go when they're in retirement. Look at Neil Razor-Ruddock, but he's only 34. How many jammy donuts can you stuff down your throat in 9 bastard months? Give him a pre-season to get fit, he'd be great. Who's gonna keep him out of the team? Alex Mowat? Jared Bird? What a load of pelican spit. Blackburn, Thiago Motta. If you offer Tony Mowbray the option to put Thiago Motta in midfield, he'd bite off your arm. This is a guy who racked up 6 years at Barcelona, 3 at Inter Milan, 6 at PSG, a cool ball-playing defensive midfielder who's played for both Brazil and Italy. I don't care that he's 37. I don't care he's been stuck at home on the couch watching the rain for 2 years. If this club can afford to wheel a fat 35-year-old Stuart Downey onto the pitch for 20 games a season, they can do the same for Motta, Christ above. Birmingham, Julio Cesar. Okay, now this is a call. Yes, Julio Cesar is a Champions League winning goalkeeper, but he was sort of washed up back in 2012. So predicting him to now command a starting spot in England's second tier, it's like tipping Rizzle Kicks to headline Glastonbury next year. Not even their own mother believes that. But Birmingham have conceded 57 goals this season, and Lee Camp has shown he has the reflexes of a cardboard box. Yes, Cesar retired in Brazil in 2018. Yes, he's shown an allergy towards English football in the past, and yes, he's 40 bastard years old. But anything to get Camp off the pitch. Brentford, Xavi. Am I really having to justify why I think Xavi gets into the Brentford team? Really? Listen, this club has spent the last half decade playing nice, free-flowing football. Their entire philosophy is built on how Xavi plays. His Brentford teammates would absolutely idolise him. He has 8 La Liga titles, 4 Champions League crowns. He only retired in 2019 with Al Sadd. Yes, he's 40 years of age, but so what? Don't ask him to be a box-to-box player. Christ, he'd probably cough up a lung. But play to his strengths. Stick him in the middle of the park as a deep-line playmaker, just to control the tempo of the game, keep it ticking over. Put some runners around him, and yeah, I mean, who's dislodging him? Shandon Baptiste? Bristol City, Michael Carrick. Yeah, Michael Carrick has been retired 2 years now, and is 38 years of age, but so what? It was only 3 years ago, this guy was playing nearly 40 times a season for one of the biggest clubs on planet Earth. Again, like Xavi, chuck this guy deep into midfield. Just get him spending the game playing 5-yard passes, retaining possession. Yeah, of course he's starting ahead of Han Noah Masengo, Cardiff Ashley Cole. Well, this is tricky, because Ashley Cole is old, and the last thing you need in a high-pressure league is a left back who cannot run, a defender who's struggling to breathe, never mind kick the bastard ball. But Cole is 39 and didn't look too out of place on the park for Derby County last season. And I'm sorry, but you could break both this guy's legs, rip off his nose, and he'd still be getting past Joe Bennett in the team. Charlton, Patrice Evra. Right, so I'm probably going to have offended Charlton fans with this comment.
Oh, look at this clampets claiming that a fat, past a retired old man with a fetish for expired chicken would actually get into our team, past Ben Purrington.
Yes. Sure, Evra's 39, but the man is in phenomenal shape. To be fair, I'm still trying to work out how he got away with not spending 6 weeks on a bastard toilet seat after this. Evra was only playing Premier League football 2 years ago, and Charlton have conceded 54 goals already. Clearly they need all the help they can get. Derby County, Arjen Robben. Imagine sticking Wayne Rooney and Arjen Robben in the same team, and they still can't get out of the championship. I think were that to actually happen, Derby County might as well just shut down the club. Drop a grenade into the centre circle of the pitch, because clearly you're not destined to ever go up again. Arjen Robben, a Champions League winning world-class left winger of Chelsea, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, 96 caps for Holland, World Cup finalist, winner of 12 league titles. I don't care if he's 36. He would still start for every team in this division, bar none. He was scoring goals for Bayern Munich less than 1 year ago. Unless he spent the last 9 months drowning his kidneys in whiskey, sugar, and f***ing grease, then yeah, I think he's finding his way past Dwayne Holmes. Plus, he used to be teammates with Philip Cocu in the Dutch national team. This fellow would probably sacrifice his gallbladder to get Robin on the pitch. Full of Roman Weidenfeller. Listen, yes, Academy graduate Marek Rodak has done well since dragging Marcus Bettinelli back to the bench. But don't think for a second that Scott Parker won't reinvest in a new goalie for next season. Jack Butland will cost 30 million quid. Roman Weidenfeller would cost absolutely nothing. A 39-year-old World Cup winning goalie who spent 16 years at Borussia Dortmund, over 450 games for that club. You might say, oh, he's too old and stiff. He'd probably break a hip diving for the ball. Lads, Mark Schwarzer kept a clean sheet in the Champions League semi-final at 41 years of age. Goalies don't age. Huddersfield, Fernando Torres. Alright, yes, Fernando Torres was officially finished in English football over 5 years ago, but Fraser Campbell has played 27 times up front for Huddersfield this season. 2 goals. Has he just been unlucky? Has he just smashed the crossbar 50 times? No, he's just absolute dog butter. Yes, Torres has passed it. Finished, wound up a dried up twig in Japanese relegation battles. But Campbell is a centre forward who outside of 2 seasons for Hull has been absolutely pitiful in front of goal. For over a decade. How he ever played for England, I'll never know. Yes, I'm sure Torres would also stumble around the pitch in utter embarrassment. It would almost be painful to watch a World Cup winner disgrace himself like that on the Huddersfield pitch. Be booed off by their own fans every week. But he's only 4 years older than Campbell, and let's be honest lads, he couldn't do much worse. Hull City, David Villa. Alright, let's be honest lads. Hull City are in free fall. Project Restart is a good thing for football fans, not for those who support Hull. One more bad result and poor Alfie will probably start tearing eyelashes from his face. They haven't won any games since top scorer Jared Bowen was sold to West Ham, losing nearly all of them. They can't defend, but they can't score to save their lives either. Who do you turn to? Josh McGuinness? 4 goals in 24 games? Tom Eaves, a guy plucked straight out of League One? David Villa is 38, yes, and hasn't played European football since 2014. Since then it's been MLS, Australia and Japan. But I don't want to hear anyone say, oh, he would get in the Hull City team. Yes, he bastard would. Purebred goal scorers, they lose their pace, but they don't forget their finishing instinct. I promise you, stick him up front for Hull and he'd be their goddamn top scorer. Leeds United, Xabi Alonso. Why did Xabi Alonso retire? Seriously, does anyone have an answer? His last season he played nearly 40 games for Bayern Munich before hanging up with the boots in the summer of 2018. Since then he's gone to court, visited the Grand Prix and been interviewed by Stephen Trice. I realise Leeds are strong in midfield, but I don't care. Chuck Alonso back on the treadmill, give him 6 weeks to get fit, and this man's passing ability walks straight into the Leeds team. Luton Town, Andrea Barzagli. Luton Town have conceded 71 goals this season, alright? Their defence needs all the help they can get. This is a team who lost 7-0 at Brentford. World Cup winning Italian centre-half Andrea Barzagli, a guy who lifted 8 league titles in a row at Juventus. Sure, he's 39, hasn't played in a year, but still. Luton Town? Oh god, yes, he'd start. Middlesbrough, Peter Crouch. Yes, Peter Crouch is carving out a productive post-playing career. But lads, he could still do a job in the Championship. Christ above, he was only playing Premier League football last year. Middlesbrough's striking options have been so brutal this season. They should probably all be forced to hand in their boots and find employment down the local Carphone warehouse. Crouch is 39, yes, but could he really do a worse job than Rudy Gestede? Not a chance. Millwall, Joey Barton. Lads, Joey Barton never actually wanted to retire. The only reason he did was because someone was insane enough to offer him a lucrative management gig. Yes, he's 37 years of age. But lads, this is exactly the type of player Millwall fans would probably fantasize about in the shower. Blood, sweat and tears, and would probably bite the head off a baby lamb. Get yourself in this midfield. Nottingham Forest, Philip Lamb. Lads, why is Philip Lamb retired? Honestly, it doesn't make sense. His last season at Bayern Munich, his 13th year at that club, he was playing nearly 40 goddamn times. Whether as a right back or a central midfielder. It doesn't matter. Even a 36-year-old Lamb walks straight into Nottingham Forest's starting 11. Who's keeping him out? Carl Jenkinson? Wash your mouth out with soap. Preston, Daniel De Rossi. Oh, Daniel De Rossi. So close to ending his career a one-club man after over 600 appearances in the heart of Roma's midfield, and then he's spoiled out with 5 games of Boca Juniors. He's 36, yes, but I don't care. This World Cup winner played nearly 20 games for Roma last year. If it was good enough for them, it's good enough for Preston North End. This guy is more talented in his left nipple than Ben Pearson has in his entire body. A guy who's not so much a footballer as he is a trained assassin. He probably drinks a bowl of yellow cards for breakfast. QPR Alan Hutton. Alan Hutton could have kept playing if he wanted. He's a 35-year-old right back, not exactly in high demand. But lads, he still played 34 times for Villa as they got promoted last season. It was only last year he morphed into Messi during the Birmingham City derby. QPR's right back is Todd Kane, a former Chelsea prospect whose career has consisted of 8 loans. He's like that orphan nobody wants. Reading, John Terry. Okay, yes, John Terry is 39, but I don't care. Get him in Reading's back 4. He knows he could still do a job. Price, he's recently been tipped to get into Villa's backline for a relegation scrap. I'm sorry, but in what universe does Terry fail to get past Matt Miazga? Even at 39, he'd eat that man for breakfast. Sheffield Wednesday, Petr Cech. Okay, yes, Petr Cech's career ended up in a big bag of sheep diarrhea. But lads, let's not forget he was still playing in a European Cup final 12 months ago. He's 4 years younger than Buffon, and he's still turning out 5 times a year. There's probably going to be some die-hard Sheffield Wednesday fans wanting to defend Cameron Dawson. Lads, you could stick Cech in a hole home for 3 years, feed him a diet of mince pies and glasses of petrol, and he'd still do a better job in net. Okay, bit harsh, but have some respect for Petr Cech. Stoke, Araditz Aduriz. Right, Stoke's current top scorer is Sam Klukas. It's clear to say they have a forward line about as threatening as a barking kitten. Hands up, alright? Any Stoke fan who actually thinks they're above the standard of Araditz Aduriz, please raise your hand. Didn't think so. This is the most recent player to retire in the whole list. Hanging up the boots last month. Sure, he's only 39 years of age, but so what? The guy was scoring bicycle kicks against Barcelona last year. Do you really think that's a guy who hasn't been keeping himself in shape? If Rooney attempted that at 39, he'd probably trip over his own love handles. Aduriz is the ultimate professional, the Basque Teddy Sheringham. So you're damn right he'd still get a game for Stoke over Scott Hogan. Swansea, Andrea Pirlo. Alright, listen, we've seen big name midfielders don't always work at Swansea. But lads, are you honestly telling me Andrea Pirlo wouldn't still get a game? Just chuck him in the middle, put some runners around him, and watch him dictate the play. I know he's 41, but he's Italian. His diet is probably inch perfect. It's not like the English, who live off a diet of Cocoa Pops and doner kebabs. Wigan Victor Valdez. Lads, Victor Valdez needs to come out of retirement. When you spend 20 years of your life at Barcelona, winning 6 league titles, 3 European Cups, both the Euros and a World Cup for Spain, you really want to end that glittering career on a relegation in the northeast of England? Yes, Boro dropped out of the Premier League in 2017. It was probably a miserable experience, but retiring at 35? Why? Wigan's current number 1 is David Marshall, who's just 3 years younger than Valdez. The Catalan world champion would probably rip the number 1 gloves off that man's hands. West Brom, Robin van Persie. Yes, West Brom are flying high, battering 56 goals in 37 games. Charlie Austin's on fire, great. But look me in the eye and tell me that you wouldn't prefer Robin van Persie. Yes, even at 36, of course you would. Last season he scored 18 goals in 31 games for Feyenoord. And that's a better standard of division than the Championship. Not only would this man walk into West Brom's starting 11, he'd pick up the damn golden boot. Anyway, that's it, fellas. Let me know in the comment section below. If you are a Championship fan, let me hear from you. Let me know if these players wouldn't get into your starting lineup and I've just disrespected the entire division. Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And as always, I'll talk to you in a while. Oh, by the way, lads, trying to hit 500k is, just subscribe.